Hello everyone, good evening, welcome along, welcome to Wednesday night live stream, and something a little bit different for me tonight. I talked about this a couple of weeks ago and thought this would actually be kind of a cool idea. I haven't had the time lately to explore all the maps that have come out on Farm Sim. I haven't had watched map tours or anything like that, and I was kind of scrolling through and there's people who had said, you should check out this map, check out that map. And I thought, let's spend 15 minutes over a couple of hours, 15 minutes each, checking out a handful of maps. So I've gone through, I picked out 9, I think, but I've gone through and picked out 8 maps that we are going to have a bit of a look at here and just really quickly go through and explore them, see what they're all about and things like that. But firstly, I have just this minute had a post go live on Facebook announcing officially our first farming simulator barnyard meetup in New Zealand. It is the first one ever, and there you go, there are all the details about it. So October the 18th from 12:30 till 4:30 p.m. At TRC Tractors in Fielding. They're the local Fent Agco and Fent Agco, so Fent Valtra and Massey Ferguson dealers. They represent some other brands, Stewart Trailers amongst other things. So there we go, we're going to have an event there. There's heaps more details. If you type in !meet, that will give you a link to go and find where you can get tickets from and everything like that. We're going to go to the Coach House Museum, which is a museum in Fielding. It has a huge range of old agricultural equipment, huge range of, actually, oddly enough, John Deere tractors, really old John Deere tractors, but other stuff like old mowers, swathers. They even might have had like an old tow behind combine or something like that. So, yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to finally have this sort of sorted. I've been working on it for a few weeks now, well, basically since becoming a community cultivator. It's something I've wanted to do for ages for the Farm Sim community. So there it is. Get in there. I've limited it to 50 tickets. If I can get 50 people there, I would be absolutely gobsmacked. If I can get 10 or 15 people there, it would be amazing. So, yeah, if you're keen, if you're local, if you're in New Zealand in the Manawatu, within a couple of hours drive, I wanted to make it worthwhile for people to travel as well. Hence going to the museum. Giants had kind of wanted the cultivator meetups, the barnyard meetups, to just be like, meet at a bar, a pub, a restaurant, and just catch up for an hour or two. For people to come out of town, I kind of wanted to make it worth their while. So that's the plan. Anyhow, that is what we're going to be doing. I should have some background music going because there's nothing. Normally I'd have the game in the background, but we've got nothing at the moment. So anyhow, !meet, if someone can put that into chat for me, MEET, not MEAT, and that'll bring up the link for it. But yeah, hopefully we can get a whole bunch of people along to it. Giants have actually given some info about some cool little mementos that they're going to try and get sent out. Now I'm not going to promise those because it's pretty close time frame between them being able to get something from Germany here to New Zealand, but fingers crossed we can have something there that's a little bit special as well for anyone who does attend. So that's kind of exciting. That's yeah, but a bit of work to go into it still to get things organised. I'm trying to work on something else as a little bit of a special something for anyone who's there, and it won't be playing Winchester, but yeah, that's kind of what we've got planned. Right, hello everyone, good evening, welcome along. Nice to have you all here. Ollie, Hyper, good to see you. Garrick, hello. Andre, welcome along. Amon, wherever you are in the world, hello. Hello to you as well. Nice to see you. TJ, good evening, mate. Hey, congratulations on your book. You've put a link in Discord for that, haven't you? So TJ's, and I've had a bit of a read through it because he sent me a PDF copy of it, but he's written a book about the farm we've talked about before, Nellie's farm, what do you call it? No, basically written from the perspective of your ute, isn't it? Anyhow, you can go and buy a copy of that. So have a look in Discord under the self-promo. But he shared a link in the Discord, a screenshot today of a photo actually of a print hard copy book of it. So congrats, mate. That's awesome. G'day, Bruce. Good evening to you. How you doing? This is a good idea. Thank you, Garrick. Well, I better get into it or we're going to run out of time to do them all. Craig, how you doing? Good evening. Will there be an Aussie barnyard meetup at some point or just countries with community cultivators based there? So the cultivator program is going to grow. They've only announced the first 20. They want to try and cover as many regions as they can in the world. I'd love to try and do one in Aussie at some stage if they can't get someone in Aussie. Whether it be Western Australia or not, I don't know. Who knows? But yeah, at some stage, fingers crossed, we can go through and do something. Hang on, Mrs. Arks is messaging me. She'll probably tell me I've put a typo. Oh, she didn't say I'm hosting it, which I feel like your fans would want to know. There you go. Anyhow, it's not about me. This is about you guys. Anyhow, that's why I didn't do that. I'll clarify that with you later. In fact, this is actually jump in the live chat and you can come and talk to us. Right. Let's have a look-see. But yeah, back to Aussie, TJ. Certainly, I'd love to be able to get over to a field days or do something over there. I've offered for Giants to, I'd be more than happy to travel over for a weekend. It's not too hard. In fact, it'd be easier for me to get to Sydney than you probably. So there you go. What else is there? Who else is there here? Lone Panther, how you doing? It'd be nice if you had the budget to attend. Just drop me a DM. I'm sure there's something we can work out if the price is a problem. I didn't want that to be a barrier, so it was just the price is basically to cover the. I'm not making any money off it. I absolutely do not want to. The price of it's just to cover the cost of the museum, some food and drinks, which if it was at a restaurant, you'd be paying for yourself. With the way Giants have done it, it's kind of user pays. And if there is anything left over, I'll be donating that to and I should have said this, but it'll go to a charity or potentially back to the hosts, because TRC Tractors are putting this all on, hosting this at no cost, and making a few things accessible to us, which is cool. G'day Hanson, how you doing? Good to see you. So glad to see you back. Mr. Thor, can't wait for the combines. Yeah, how are you, Mark? It is good to have you back while you're on your break as well. All right, let's go to this one here. Right, so actually, no, before we do that, I'm going to do this and bring this up. So, I've got 8 maps picked out that we're going to have a look at, and I haven't written them all down, but we'll just do this. So, we'll just tab through them. I've got them all open here. They're all Mod Hub maps, all but one of them are crossplay. One of them is PC only because it's a 4 times, but let's take a look. So Winlow Farms, I know FSG's just started his series on this. This is in-cab series, so that's interesting. So we'll take a look at that. The Louisiana map by Andrade Email Renegados Modding Email Studio. So we'll take a look at that one. Sunshine Forest, this one's been out for a little bit longer. This is CalTG, who does a lot of forestry maps. And I'll get into why I've picked these ones as we look at them. Dedelow 4 times in GDR, which is by Horizonte. I'm guessing that's what his name's meant to be. Argentinian map, Horizonte Argentino, and I've got 2 South American ones actually. Bruckman and Taylor Farms, Wampsville, New York. This one looks fascinating, and mainly because it has 3 different editions, and it's similar to what Ola did with New Frontier. So that's DTAP Gaming and Star Spangled Mods. This one here, the BR163 MS Brazil. Some of you might have seen Mr. Silly P has been doing a series on this by Zero Oito. Yeah, of the South American map. Iowa Plains, because it came out today. It was basically that one there, and that's actually what prompted me to do it, because I wanted to have a look at that, and we'd been looking at. I had it all ready to go, and then this one came out. I was like, that's a good excuse to do it. Back to Winlow Farms. So there we go. That is what we're going to look at in terms of maps. So if we jump back into our game, we're going to go into here and we're going to scroll through and find the first one. There you go. First one is the BR163 MS Brazil. So we're going to go no guided tour. We're going to go start farm. We're going to go continue. I'm just going to hit start. We're going to hit start because I've got an old version of my bulk bunkers in there. And while this is loading, we're going to go back to our Mod Hub and have a little bit of a read about it. So this map is based on a stretch of the BR163 highway, hence the name, in the region of the city of Dourados in the state of Mato Grosso do Sul in Brazil, adding several characteristics of the region, a region that produces mainly corn and soybeans. The map has 75 viable lands, 47 fields ranging from 0.34 of a hectare up to 24.9 hectares. Convert that to acres, what's that? 1 acre up to 65 acres. A couple of grain sell points, multiple production points, a quarry, a sawmill, animal dealer, vehicle shop, BGA, and new productions. And note that all structures such as houses and sheds that are in purchasable areas can be removed. I get a noise. This is one of my bugbears. I haven't changed the screen. I'm reading this. And you guys can't see it. This is one of my bugbears. Area and purchasable areas can be removed when there's a spelling mistake. I know it's a translation, but that just annoys me. In the multiplayer farm, one can remove fences and gates across the map. Okay, and the 2 required mods there, which is gas station BR by Zero Iwaito as well, and a package Mega Silo by Lost Gamer. So, with that all done, I can probably actually leave it on monitor so I don't make that mistake again. It's still loading in anyhow, so we didn't miss much. We'll wait for this. It's fuel as well as you're in Auckland. So Lone Panther, the plan is, this one's obviously close to where I am, so it makes a lot of sense for me to do something local. If this is successful and we get 15 people along to it, it will become hopefully a model for something in the future. So I was actually talking to Kiwi Sim Farmer just before on his stream, and he was saying there's a vintage tractor show or something coming up in Waikato in the new year. So I was like, well, that could give us an option to go and check something out. This was me driving Mercedes. That was my outfit for what I thought a Mercedes driver would look like when we were to FSG. So I'm kind of not sure how we're going to tackle this, but we'll have a look at the map and probably just go into flight mode and just have a little bit of a look around. Basically, normally I can do a map tour, and I'm doing a map tour maybe in an hour to sort of get myself heads around it and take a good look around. Definitely be booking a ticket, Andre. Nice one. Best of luck with the meetup. Plenty of photos. Yeah, I'll definitely document it. Aim on that was definitely the plan. But yeah, Lone Panther, I'm hoping I'll be able to do something closer. And I'm hoping I can build some partnerships where field days could be an option. And that's even easier as well. Kia ora, Scott. How you doing? Better and cheaper to go to the Orange field days. Runs over 3 days. Been myself. And there you go. RNA Agriculture shows that either Brisbane or Sydney will be a worthy FS meeting place next year. I've been to the I went to the Royal Show in Sydney many a year ago. My son was 2 and he's now 14, so 12 years ago. We went to that. It's the one they have at the Olympic Park. So anyhow, let's have a look-see here at the map. So as you can see, this is our quarry up the top there. Limestone production in it, dirt, sand, and stones. I'm starting, and one of the things I noticed is how many places had of these maps. And a quick look had different crops. So this one doesn't, or just the standard crops in there, but very well covered in the fields. It's 9, the biggest one, 66 acres, so I was pretty close with my guess, wasn't I? 7. And let's see if we can find the little baby one, the 0.34 of a hectare. Can't be that one, surely. No, even smaller than that. It was farmland, so wasn't it? It's probably one like this. Yeah, 0.62, it'll be that, which is actually probably viable for a production. Gonna have a look at it. Oh, it's just a house. You can buy a house. Now, of course, I haven't loaded shaders in yet, so that's a nice little place, isn't it? Nice little place. So taking a look, zooming back out again. So the starter farm, which I have started on with the starter farm, is up here. We've got, what's that, another production brick factory. We'll actually have a look at those because it's kind of interesting. Brick factory, that's a little bit unique. The bricks out of that. Otherwise everything else looks pretty normal. Sugar mill, not appropriate for where we are. So just having a look around. Yes, it does have quite the red dirt there, DJ. A little bit stretched on the textures. That's an art, trying to get textures the right scale too, by the way, as I have learnt. Very green. No, lots of grass around the fringes. That's one of the hard things to try and master with some of these maps, isn't it? So it will be a little bit jittery for me as we're loading in. It's 40 odd frames, but we haven't brought up any shader caches, haven't built any shaders as we look across the map or anything like that. So people for the win for those translations, I know, isn't that right? Okay, Dr. Fish, how you doing? Big silo complex there below us, and sort of some outdoor silage bags, not silage bags. It looks like grain bags, don't they? Now, one thing I should probably do, we will go through and do that. Just go into our settings. That one. And that one. I already thought of it from a viewer point of view that I don't play with colorblind settings on, but you had colorblind viewers run its troubles. So let's have a look. So there we go. Grain warehouse is there. So there doesn't seem to be any triggers associated with this. We've got the warehouse as well. warehouses. There's a building materials store. It's like a unique kind of building there. Pick up and a forklift down at the, not the shop. Now where, I was just trying to actually find where the shop is on here. If that is where the shop is, there's just no visual trigger for it. I imagine it is then. Yeah, it is. If we were to go in here, we'll just lease a tractor, see where it turns up. That's where you buy things. Where do they spawn? Oops. Interesting. That's a bit different, isn't it? Over here. Okay. Put it there. There we go. So that's more of a workshop. Workshop point in there. There we go. It's kind of cool. Kind of split into two. It's kind of unique. I kind of like that actually, having a shop where you buy things over here, but then you've actually got to go somewhere else to pick them up. That's kind of cool. That's quite a cool idea. The other thing, I'm not going to be lying about this, is it will give me some ideas for my map, which we can talk about a little bit later on. So head on over. Like I said, we want to not fly through these figuratively, literally, but just take a decent quick look around them, because I do want to sort of dart through a few different maps as we go. Nice to see these trees. I haven't seen palm trees like that before in any of the Giants maps. There must be custom trees for this map. Interesting. Have a look at those too. So up here, this is, have a look at the map up here at the farm. If I press that button, it will bring up the mini map down in the corner. You can see that. So the red dirt's really nice, isn't it? It's quite appropriate. Big open storage shed there. You start off with a Massey combine, even grain header there, rent a trailer, Demco wagon, corn header over that side, some front loader attachments there, and a little case tractor. Not too much else. Can't actually see. Oh, there we go. Another trailer, another shed here. Planter, seeder, sprayer, the diamond harrow. What's that, a roller? Tank as well. So no grass equipment. That's obvious anyhow. But just taking a little bit of a look around here. Some nice landscaping. Nice big fields and some small fields too, which is kind of cool. I like the border. Actually, the border, I will comment on that because I know how hard that border is. The map finishes pretty much at the river. In fact, I don't know. You probably can't get over the other side of the river for any particular reason. There doesn't seem to be any access over here. No, in fact, there's the collision. So there's the map border. I've managed to go outside it. Anyone else ever managed to do this? Go over. There we go. But yeah, well decorated. Oh, you can get over down this. There you go, there's a fuel ford or a bridge over. So you can get over the other side, but the map border is really well done. It just keeps on going. It's good. It doesn't just stop. And that's what I'm finding really difficult to do. G'day Rowdy, how you doing? Good to see you. Botnelly Creek will have in 25. So have a look on ModHub, TJ. There is a map template that's been released as a prefab, which has all the red dirt in it. Because I'd looked at that as well. There's a John Deere museum in the Naki. I've heard of that. Oh, I have seen that. How you doing, buddy? Good to see you. Hoping you and Floyd can make the trip down. Great to have you down there. I'll let you break it to them if you can't. It's a big silo complex over here. This is a sell point, a cerealist. We've just gone over the food factory, back over that side. Food factory there, and a sell point down this way. Good connections as well around these roads that go around. And it's quite some quarry. Very nicely done. I remember back we had the dirt, sand and stones up the top here. And down the bottom is limestone. So you get the limestone production down there as well. It's quite a cool quarry. Okay, the one thing I do the trees, right? Those trees have been growing for 15 years, but it's a quarry. It's an active quarry. There shouldn't be any greenery down in there, should there? It's not like it's a reclaimed quarry or anything. It's an active quarry, getting materials out of it. I think that shouldn't be like that, but yeah, nice details on dirt and sand and things. These fields are kind of cool. So I'm assuming you'd be able to plow these together while they're using the terrain decal by the looks of things there for the ground. Be able to plow these together. These sugarcane. Like it, aren't they? They are. How do I know they're sugarcane? Because it's a colour I haven't seen a lot of. Because I don't do it. Yes, you're still working on Nelly Creek, aren't you, TJ? I do hope you get that finished off and then get it ported over to 25. Good. Big production area down in here. There is a lot of detail in this production. This is just the sugar mill. There's a lot of detail in that. A lot of effort gone into that. Piecing bits and pieces together. Very cool. Trailers, silos. I like how they're bunded. Quite cool. I like that. I've done a little bund for a diesel tank in my contractor's yard on my map. It's a little bit different to that one. The static trucks are kind of cool too, considering this is an all-platform map. So they're actually lizard branded. Hey, check out these dudes. They're animated. Huh. That's quite cool. That's very cool. Not just static. But the guy standing up here, supervising sugarcane going in. That's really neat. I love seeing a little detail like that. And doesn't it things like that that just make maps come alive? The 19 base map has a few palm trees. Is there? Definitely no trees in the pit. I knew you'd comment on that, Darren. Right, carrying on around, we've got this main road which goes all the way down the centre into the town. So we're here, it goes to the big roundabout and all the way over the other side. And back out there, the other road going down that way too. So, like I said, well connected, lots of good paths. It's the animal dealer. This is a farm, so you can buy this and have that as a farm. Alright, we need to move on because otherwise we're going to run out of time. Warehouse there for buying things. So that's quite a cool map. Alright, well, there's number one. Yeah, out of here, Scott. Scared you off already. Alright, let's go back to our monitor. And we'll figure out which one we're going to do next. Right. So that was BR163 MS Brazil. Up next, we're going to look at. I did have Courtright Farm and what was the other one I had in here? Forest River. I had those both in there to look at, but I decided we'd stick to Mod Hub Farm. So Dedelow X4 in GDR. So we'll hit that continue. We'll hit that start there. Let's see what the I had to say about this one. So Dedelow X4 and GDR. Welcome to Dedelow in the 1980s. I'm assuming it's the 1980s and not the 1880s. This map is a loving recreation of the town of Dedelow in the Uckermark region. The atmosphere of the map is primarily intended to be a journey back in time for young and old. Experience expansive fields, narrow roads, and the associated hurdles. Features environment and color grading adjusted. 50 fields. So isn't it interesting? This has 50 fields, but it's twice the size as the other one. I'm assuming the X4 is. We'll have to look at that. I'm actually jumping to conclusions that it's a larger map because it's PC only. 50 fields, total of 1,277 hectares. That makes sense. That's big. Love big fields. 13 farms. Wow. 4 large-scale operations, various sales stations, transport missions for additional income opportunities. I hope you enjoy this journey through time. Now, there is a big collection here of required mods. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 9 on that side. Must be 20. 10. Because there was one on 2 lines. Right, so 21 total. Not too big, 361 megabytes, came out on the 28th of August, and no updates to it. So let's go, see if that has finished loading up yet. Kind of, because it has timed out my journey. Compiling shaders. I can't quite read that, and it won't change my screen. Here we go. All right, let's start this one up. Have a look. Boot more than 5 required mods. It's a tricky one, isn't it, Mark? It is a tricky one. Required mods can be quite the difference in a map, but at the same time, they can really frustrate people. Okay, let's have a look at this one. So here we are. So it is, now how do I tell? We're standing at 2276. So looking at the coordinates there, yeah, we're in the middle of the map. So definitely a 4 kilometer, 4x map, 4 times the standard size. So that starts to put into perspective how big these fields here are. If a normal map would be cutting this in half and half, this field must be ginormous, 430 acres. While it's got 13 farms, it's not actually that practical. I thought it was thinking it'd be a great multiplayer, multi-farm map, but in matter of fact, it wouldn't be because there's so few fields. And particularly, you look down here, and there are some nice small ones, but they're going to get picked up pretty quick. 0.7. It's quite a contrast, isn't it? 0.71 of an acre versus that. Now, if I go Z, I still get the dirt. I might have been able to see through the map to see if it was actually based on a satellite image or not. Looking down, no custom crops or anything on this one. So let's see. So we've started off here, kind of like I said in the middle. The color grading does give it a very old vibe. I don't know if I like it. It feels too dark for me. It might be just the fact it's 8 AM. Let's bring the time forward, make it a little bit brighter. Hey Randy, how you doing? Good to see you, mate. The clock chimed on 9. But yeah, I think the color grading is designed to make it feel like it's old, which I'm not a huge fan of. I'd be kind of morbidly depressed playing this map, to be perfectly honest. Particularly if you're harvesting a 400 hectare field and it's taking you as long as it's going to take. Would be a good one though for testing out a whole lot of courseplay and auto drive. So there we are, midday in August. Would have expected it to be a little bit brighter than it is. So yeah, can't say I'm a huge fan of it. So we are in the middle, basically set up similar to a lot of maps. Town in the middle and everything around the outside. There is a train going through. Yeah, custom train as well, which is pretty cool. Hey Darren, thank you very much for the gifted memberships. 10 gifted memberships coming through there. Who picked those up? Paul, the Sim Guy, Acrylic, Farmer Sim, Amy, Tom, Big Papa Sims, Brett Wells, Kartik, Ruben, and once again, no Bo. There we go. You love this map, Big H, the biggest field I have ever had with a starter farm. That one is pretty massive, isn't it? That on a starter farm. 361 acres, $1.4 million. You might as well sell that and go and buy a whole lot of small ones. That's some nice equipment. That's pretty sizable. So, just to give you a sense, that's actually the one we were just looking at. That right there is this is a starter field for a starter farm. 360 acres. That's bonkers. Like a little bit of an airstrip here, is it? Assuming that's what that is meant to be. Oh yeah, that is a huge field for a starter farm. Yeah, sometimes it can't be avoided, Mark. I get that, but other times it can. Now, is there any equipment on this starter farm, on this map? No, you literally start off with, there's a chair. So you don't actually have any equipment, and so actually you might almost want to sell that to be able to buy anything. That goes and funds your first farm. So as we said, some big fields. It's an intriguing map. It's kind of different to anything. I guess we've seen American maps which have big fields, but not really European maps which have big fields, which is what gives it, I guess, a point of difference. Now, if you imagine in fact, if we looked at like Courtright Farms or Fraser River, is it? They're much squarer, more regular shaped fields, whereas it's very hard to find a regular shaped field in amongst these ones. That triangular behemoth, which is back there. So just the nature of the beast is kind of cool. And then your token smaller plots here. It's disappointing actually, they're not even fenced off or anything. I wonder what the point in having those like that is. Token. And it might be exactly what it's like in real life, I'm not sure. Just taking a look through the town, there is only, that I can see, the supermarket there. Got a dirty grain silo with a roof as a sell point. Combine grain industry at the top. We do have the train as a sell point as well, but there's really only those couple of sell points. And you've got a gas station, manure, diesel tank down there. So there's not actually a huge amount happening in the middle of town for this one. At the top here, there's another straw sale, milk ramp. I'm assuming we're going to have the animal dealer up here, are we? God, which person that is? That's Dean and Walter up there. Katie's down there, so that might be the animal dealer. Might just be that we can't see things. Could be test plots. Could be test plots too. Hanson, quite right. Imagine harvesting that with the base game, Massey. No, thank you. Almost need another drive just for the added mods to download maps. Yeah, that's always the concern. It's always the concern that you have to have that. So look at this place though. Look at these silos. Set up for some serious silage going through here. This must be a farm you can buy. I'm gonna take a punt and yeah, you got the pastures there, so it must be cows. This is a big cattle farm. On the side, I'm seriously. This is quite a depressing map in terms of the colour though. I don't know if I could play on this. If you did have, I don't have it installed, I don't think, on this. But if you had the additional settings, you could bring in the colours, the colour grading from another map. So you could fix it that way. Could fix it like that. Can you see the chairs you start with? They had better be good. Let's have a look. We'll go and find one before we leave. But there's not actually a huge amount more to look at on this map, I don't think. Up this way. That's where those couple of sell points were. See if it is the animal dealer. There better be some comfy chairs, right? Although this map's so big, you're not going to have much time sitting around doing nothing. Kind of little village area. And these are, where are those triggers? Oh, that's literally it there. That's the milk sale point. Okay. And then this is the manure one. Was it manure here? Bale. No, this was bales, wasn't it? Raw sale. Okay. The milk one's a little bit strange. Although I suppose this isn't what it would have been like in the 80s. This is what it would have been like in New Zealand in the early 1900s. You'd had these little dairy factories all over the place where you bought your milk churns to, and there'd be just a little factory behind, and they'd make the butter and everything right there. So can you tab to them? You can indeed. There you go, Garrick. Look at that, nice view. Don't turn your head too far because it doesn't like going backwards. Oh, apparently I'm running. Oh, because I'm in flight mode. Why am I? It disappeared. I broke it. That's a pretty fancy chair. Oh goodness. Alright. There we go, the chairs are there. And we've ended up in a big field of beans. Look at it. It's disappearing off into the wild yonder. Well, there we go. I think that is enough for looking at this one. That would be a no for me. Big map, big fields, but certainly not something that I can see would ever capture my imagination. Kind of dark. It was very dark. I agree. Right. But there's now only 2. It was 3. Right, let's go. So we've looked at BR163. That was Dedelow X4 and GDR. Moving back, another South America map. This is Horizonte Argentino. So we will jump in. Start off on this one. Let's have a look at what it had to say about this teleportation chair. It's been a while actually since I've seen that happen in FS 25. It used to happen a bit in 22. That's just to get you to certain points in the map, just tab through them like a tractor. Ah, there. Makes sense. Right, Horizonte Argentino by Bruckman and Taylor Farms. 456 megabytes, came out on the 29th of August. So it is a relatively new map. It's a map inspired by the core agricultural region of Argentina, offering an immersive and extensively developed rural experience. It combines landscapes, infrastructure, and crop diversity typically found in the country's central plains to recreate a familiar and representative environment. The map features detailed Argentine-style farms, silos, storage sheds, fenced plots, and realistic road networks, creating a unique South American atmosphere. There are 3 farms, 33 purchasable fields, with an average acre sizes of 25 acres or 10.25 hectares. There is 2 purchasable forestry plots. Water retrieval sources include rivers, ponds, and windmill tanks. Seasonal growth plan adapted to the Southern Hemisphere calendar based on Argentina's core agricultural region. Ambient and wildlife sounds from the region. 50 collectibles distributed across the map. And some new crops: late maize, late soybean, Emma wheat. Emma, I've never heard of Emma wheat. What is Emma wheat? I'll Google that one. Emma wheat. Oops. Emma wheat is a hybrid species of wheat. I thought it was one of the first crops domesticated in the Near East. Widely cultivated. Okay. It's just a hybrid species of wheat. It's an ancient, Emma's an ancient, one of the ancient grains. Spelt. Interesting. There you go. Who said this wasn't educational? Rye, triticale, alfalfa, and cover and forage crops. We've got 9 required mobs. And that is about all there is to say about it. It is for all platforms. We've seen the one that is PC only, so everything else should now be all platforms. So, back to our main farm sim. It should now be ready for us to crack into. That's actually quite, I've gone past it now, that's quite a cool splash screen. G'day Welshton Farmer, how are you? Good to see you. There you go, Mark said the same thing too. It's an, Emma Wheat is in Battle Horse, I think. Dave Wheat's sister. Fair enough. Nice little Argentinian flag in the background there. Right, so some very, very regularly shaped fields on this one, that is for sure. Farm here in the middle, 3 fields wrapped around it. Not really getting a town or anything in there, but looks like all the cell points are really scattered around the edge. So we've got La Posta del Grano, there's a grain silo. Ben is up there, we've got manure, liquid manure, and a large petrol tank, and the animal dealer up the top there, which will be Katie, is it? It is indeed. We've got the, there's a silo there, silos down there. Agropunto Ltda, the dairy, and commercial it's farmers market. Say it fast enough, you don't sound quite so silly trying to pronounce something. I'm trying to find where the store is. Are we at the store? No, we're at a house. Didn't find it on the last one either. It's the shop, isn't it? Yeah. Right, farmhouse. Am I blind, folks? Alright, we're going to have to do this again. Alright, here we are. Cultivax Equipos. Okay, so it's up in the top corner there where Ben is. We just don't have a trigger for it. It's on the map. But it does have a workshop. And if we come around the front, do we have a... Here we do. There's the point. There you go. It is a shop. On. So it's good to go. All right, well, we might as well start up here now that we've come up this way. I'll have to actually go and have a look at these other crops. Is there any we can check out? So we've got deselect all, and then we'll go through and just turn on. These are the special ones, hummus and mustard. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, once again, I think some of these, like the beach rye and the green rye, the hummus, the mustard, they've come through. There was a prefab on Mod Hub released for those. So we've only got the options up here. We've got some late soybeans and some alfalfa to look at. So I don't really see too much of those options. Map border hidden by trees. Not too much effort gone into that. It is what it is. I mean, most of the time you experience it down here. What do people think about the whole using trees to hide map borders? I don't like. I'm not a fan. I might be a simple guy, but not keen on it really. Also interested in looking at how other people do things like power poles, and I compare it to what I've done. Mail has to get through. Right. Custom fences there now. That was probably one of the required mods we had. So there we go. But like I said, lots of big regular shaped fields. So you could do a spot there. You could build a shed if you wanted to, or it's just space for staging your field when you get to it. If you wanted to park your header trailer or truck or anything like that to it. These are kind of cool gates. It's what we used to call Taranaki gates. Just curious if I can get it to work. Or do I have to own the land? Or do we have to own the land? So open from the other end. It opens from the other end. So that's the only thing I don't. They're cool, but they go from open to closed. And that's what I've been trying to grapple with, to do a tape fence for my map. Is how do you go from open to closed and make it look believable, whereas unfortunately that doesn't. Anyhow, kind of cool how that little wire there, you just basically pull that when it's in this position. You hook the fence through there, and then you grab this bit of wood and you go from this way, you twist it round, and it twists these bits of wire and pulls that in that tight, and that's what holds it in place. Wiltshire gates. Yeah, we called them, what did I call them? Taranaki gates. Wiltshire, I guess it's a place in the UK, isn't it? Farming, how are you? Can you show what I've been working on? Yeah, if we get there, we'll see how we go. I want to get through these. I'll do another stream soon on my map. I do have it here ready if we get through things. But yeah. Interesting. It doesn't. I think I was actually spoiled looking at Brazilian map first, because that Brazilian map had a lot of character to it. There's nothing at the moment apart from maybe the fences, which is unique. That screams to me this could be Argentina. At the moment, this just feels like anywhere, I suppose. There's nothing particularly special about it. It could just about be anywhere, which is a little bit disappointing. That's it, and again, that's what I'm trying to capture in mind. And make it, give it a reason to make it feel like you're in New Zealand rather than just anywhere. I mean, the names, it's easy enough to put a name on something and a sign on something. And in all of this, I have the utmost respect for anyone who has gone to the effort of building a map, and I in no way want to dilute or belittle their efforts, because I think everyone who makes maps are fantastic. To put themselves out there into the realm of the public and sharing their work is certainly a very, very big thing to do. So we'll go back up here and have a look at the main farm, but we kind of came across and then went down that road there, and it was that spot I looked at. We'll go back up there and have a look at this, but it'd be a great map for AI workers because it is so regular. Be able to set up some good auto drive and things like that if you wanted to on this. There you go. Nice sheds, like those. And a bit of detail in here. I mean, it feels, you know, like you can tell where the farmyard is, but it kind of feels a little bit older, overgrown, not used much. It's not like some farmyards you get and they're just, they gone? It's kind of cool how they disappeared. Or is it just a timed play? That was some of the custom bird sounds, wildlife sounds they talked about. Interesting. Call them Taranaki gates and Taranaki as well. Funny that. Alright, let's carry on up the top. Love it. It'll just be a timed soundbite and I was just listening to it at a silent time. Also on my list of things to do. Some custom New Zealand bird sounds. Alright, here you go. Animal dealer. Wraps around. Big space through there. Some wildlife. Animals in. Gas station. This is actually just the Riverbend Springs setup. A few little tweaks on it. So there we go. Not a huge amount to see on that one. It is just a big, again, it's a farming game, right? So you want to get out and work your fields. And this is one map that'll give you some decent sized fields to go out and work. Pretty much in every way you look. Alright, let's jump out of this one. Go see what's next on the list. Alright, so we're 1, 2, 3 down. Iowa Plains View. This is one I am looking forward to taking a look at. And it's probably a few of you who have taken the time to check this out today. So let's let that load up. Bring up my reading. And we'll have a look at this. So Iowa Plains View by Celo Buki, of course, responsible for Alma, Missouri as well. Released today, or 16th of the 9th. It is the 17th of the 9th here in New Zealand, as it will be for a lot of people by now. Some Kiwi squeals during the night. Yeah. You live in Wiltshire, but call them prairie gates for gauge. Fair enough. G'day, Strady, how you doing? Found a workaround to hide water on Riverbend Springs. Clear trees in place of production with free mode turned on. Nice. Yeah, it's one way you can do it. One way you can do it. Right. We've got a bit of reading to do here. Inspired by the rolling landscapes of the US state of Iowa, this map offers a customized terrain designed for gameplay and does not represent any specific real-world location or town. This is a standard size map where you have the freedom to build your farm the way you want. Focus on arable farming, dive into production chains, explore forestry, or combine them all. No, it doesn't talk about animals. Your journey begins on the main farm, fully equipped with pre-placed buildings, including a cow barn, chicken coop, pigsty, chicken coop, I was going to say cob, pigsty, and a set of starter machinery to help you get going. Key features include 30 fields in various sizes from small to large, 2 forestry sites available for logging. That's an interesting one, I think, saying from small to large. I mean, that's subjective. Might be what map you're comparing it to. Biogas plant processing silage into digestate and produce methane gas, a valuable resource that can be collected and sold for profit. Traffic and pedestrians enhance the map's realism. Multiple paintable terrain textures for detailed landscaping. Custom sowing calendar for soybeans and wheat included in the seasonal growth plan. Local Case IH dealership available for purchasing, selling, or customizing machinery and equipment. Alfalfa is available on the map and can be used just like grass for mowing, baling, feeding, or silage production. Soybeans produce usable straw after harvest, which can be collected and used like regular straw. There are 2 farms available. The main farm features a grain silo, grain dryer, hog confinement, cow barn, and starter equipment, while the second farm includes a horse stable and sheep/goat pasture that unlock once you buy the farm. Small creeks with waterfalls and a scenic rest area, perfect for taking a break. Maybe some fishing soon. Iowa license plates and 10 collectible golden apples. Production features include Cedar Creek Juice Co. produces orange juice, lemonade, blueberry juice, apple juice, pear juice, and plum juice using fresh fruits. That'll be interesting to see, actually. A pancake house that creates fluffy pancakes using flour, eggs, milk, and syrup. Popcorn production. 2-step maple syrup production. We had maple syrup in 22. Interesting to see how this is done. Collect the sap in the forest and refine it into sweet maple syrup at the syrup house. Pizzeria bakes hot, ready to serve pizzas. Ketchup production. Watermill grinds all cereal crops. Dairy. What else we got? Oil mill, tailor shop, carpentry, sawmill, grain dry, fermenter processes grass, chaff, and alfalfa into silage. Selling stations include a grain sell point. Jackson Farms offers another location for selling grain. Supermarket accepts various food products. This is not the longest one I have to read either, by the way. Elmer train station allows bulk selling by a trainer, pays a 15% bonus for ship goods. That's interesting. Little trains. I suppose they normally did have a bonus, didn't they? Propane station provides propane for grain dryer and other equipment. Animal dealer is available for buying and selling livestock. Bale selling point accepts hay, straw, silage, and other baled materials. Iowa Plains Logistics serves as a supply store where you can purchase all materials required for constructible placeables and production channels. And there is 5 required mods, which are all by Silabuki as well. So, let's have a look. And a more pork. Pukek is the one I really want to get in there, Bo. Some pukekers in the stream, and some tuis in the trees. Tuis, pukeko, maybe a kiwi, more pork at night. Those are the ones I really want. Should there be some other ones could go for. Cheers everyone, it's an Aberlour whiskey we're having this evening. Right. So, this one could take a wee while. I'm going to try and keep it brief. We've managed to pick up a little bit of time, I think, on the last couple. So, here we are. We're running because I'm in flight mode. You can hear those footsteps. So I'm going to start the apple trees with the white on the bottom. Funny, so we have a look here. Probably very similar to the last map, actually, in some regards. Very sort of reasonably decent shaped fields. So this is the first farm, which is the one that had the chicken coop, the cows, and the pigsties, as well as some greenhouses. I think I mentioned that. We've got the grain silo and the 3 fields wrapped around there. Now I have all of those turned off, so let's just turn all those back on. Our alfalfa. Actually, we didn't look at alfalfa on one of the last maps, so we'll go and check it out on this one. It's also ready to harvest, which is nice. And the other farm, I'm going to decipher. I reckon that's there. What do you reckon? And that's it. We'll go and have a look in a second. Definitely down there. That's a house. So, oops. Oh, that's a nice big case, isn't it? I haven't pressed the wrong button. So we were just over the road here at the house. Some detailed, the roads look good. Us going past. The detail there on the roads. Roads are really hard to do. Your line markings are even harder, as I've found out. So let's have a look here. So over the side, there's the cow barn. Bit of grassland equipment down there. That is a rather big hog enclosure, and this is the alfalfa. Now I'm liking the alfalfa textures we're getting for 25 because it's not bright purple. You can still get the purple flowers on it, which is what alfalfa has, but it's not like horribly bright purple. You look across that field and you go, that's actually quite nice and green with a tinge of purple to it rather than being overbearing. Silo there, very well set up actually, with being able to run course play and things like that around there. Bit of other equipment. What have we got? Big plough, seeder, cultivator, sprayer. Nice shed there. I'm just looking at how the doors are. There's a door on the outside. I've never seen sheds like that where the roller goes on the outside rather than the inside. It's very unique. Another case tractor, Massey Ferguson baler, fertilizer spreader, planter, size trailer as well, as we saw before. Biggest Magnum you can get, isn't it? The 340, might be a 400. Nice big grain complex as well, and somewhere in here they have a grain dryer. Where is this? Next to the grain dryer, so it's around the back. What's there? There is a dump point here. I wonder if you dump into this one. So it's a dump and overload. You're going to dump on the. I wonder if you have to. If you have to dump into this one to use the grain dryer, and if it goes into the other one, it's just into storage. Interesting. This is a placeable, isn't it? This is one that Celobuki released. I don't know if anyone's used it. Interesting. Hey, Challenger Mark. G'day to you. Hello, Alan. How you doing? Good morning, Amoa. Not sure what the sound they make, though. Struggle to find a map to get into in 25. You're still playing Calmston. Have you checked out Saxlingham, Strody? If you're enjoying Calmston, you will love Saxlingham. A Moa farm with a production making traditional Maori clothing from Huff. Goodness, I've actually written down, I'd love to get some Kiwi ideas on what to use for collectibles. I think I've got half a dozen things. I wanted 10 sort of uniquely Kiwiana items that we could use. Anyhow, let's go for a little bit of a look around. This is, I don't know what I think about this. It's quite a big step. Would you really build a road like that? I don't know. Maybe. Unique that it's level on one side and low down there. I suppose if the slope went up, it's sloping back up that way. Might do. This feels very steep, that's all. I'm being fussy because I'm expecting higher things from this map. We do have a bit of a town down this end of the map. We are down in the bottom right corner. No, we're in the top left corner. Up here. So there's a huge concentration of all the productions over there. And that's the one thing my map's not going to have, is a huge collection of productions. There'll be space for you to build them. But I'm not going to have big things like this. If you want to put it down, you can put it down, but force it. Nicely done though. Nicely done, town. Using those are the curbs from Riverbend Springs too. I know because I've been looking at them for a long time going, how can I use those? My map. Very nicely done. We come straight down to the case dealer. There we go. Iowa Plains case dealer. That's quite a cool looking dealership actually. I like that. Like it's almost like they started out in this building, kind of Art Deco. In fact, almost like they started out with just the building out the back, and then they built this bit on the front to make it look a bit flashier, and then they upgraded the building here, and then they sort of slowly infilled it. It's the architect and men, and they're like, right, we need a flash, fancy glass frontage. They put that on. Warehouse, logistics, things like that. Up the top here, construction site. What calls this? This actually has a purpose. Can't buy it either. Here's our maple syrup though. Maple sap plantation. Each of the trees. There's a bucket attached to the side of it, sticking through the bark of it sometimes. You can see there the tap. Would you call it a tap? The pipe that comes out of it. The maple syrup come out, and then I don't know, without buying it, whether the actual production is here or whether you have to take it somewhere else. I'd like to think it's one of these buildings, but I'm not entirely sure. Big collection. You have to buy. If you buy it, you end up buying them all. $136,000. That is a decent amount. That damn thing. Oh, g'day Zichinok. Zichinok is here. Hello Chinook, how you doing, mate? Good to see you. Rugby balls, that's on the list. Mark. They sound like a 4-stroke at 8 AM on a Saturday. What's that? A mower does? Oh. Boom, boom, it's a mower, not a mower. Big ditches on the side here. Look up the top. Do you have a bit of forestry you can get yourself into? Not a huge amount, but it'll keep you busy for a while actually. Take a wee while to clear that. And conveniently the sawmill is just on the other side too. I quite like the way that he's used the stream through there. It kind of meanders really nicely. So one thing I think these streams are really fantastic, except they flow too fast. That's what I don't like about them, so I haven't actually used them on my map. I feel like the speed they flow is just a bit too much, but it's pretty cool. This must be, are we close to, I thought we were going to be close to the grain mill. Yeah, down here. I think a lot of these are now Riverbend Springs, aren't they? Yeah. Although that was a paper mill on Riverbend Springs, but he's changed it over to be the water mill for flour. Am I right? Am I right in thinking that was a paper mill in the base game? Can't remember now. Yeah. Yeah. Nice looking map. Definitely, you know, you can get the Alma, Missouri vibe out of it as well. Where's the train coming from? Special about the train? No, it's a standard train. Does a good job of just making things the same as other maps. This is a cool way to do the border, actually. Make it feel bigger, and they did this on Elm Creek. It's the base game map actually had some silos like this where they were part built or almost like underground silos, and did it right on the edge. Quite cool. Give a little tactic. Interesting ground textures too. Those are done as decals. That's not painted on, as I've learned. So yeah, BGA up in the top corner here. Divided by the train. Whether you can buy them separately then, can you? 1 megawatt and the fermenter. Okay, so this is the fermenter on this side. This will make your silage. And then you've got your BGA on the other. That's nicely done. Impressive. Map. Thou shalt not pass here. Need to stop. What happens if you do try and go across it? Stand. Yeah, there we go. So that is Iowa Plains by Silabuki. 4 maps we've looked at now, 5. Big Carrot, something from Rotorua, or the Big Carrot. You need to go through and do miniature versions of all the big stuff in New Zealand. What a tractor sink in those streams? I don't know, Thomas. Hyper, I don't know. How are you, Thomas? Good to see you. Still questionable why Giants made the base game locomotive a shunting engine, not like the big Irish diesel we had in 22. Only a train nut like you would pick that up, TJ. You could have those skid mark and oil spilled decals. Absolutely. Absolutely. All good maps have a oil spill and skid mark. Right, so BR163, Dedelow, Horizonte, Argentino, Iowa Plains. So we're four done, 4 to go. Right, next one up, Louisiana map. Go on that. Start that, ignore my update. Let's go and have a look to say on the right one. Right, a short one, very short one. This map, Louisiana map, is by Andrade ML Renegados Modding in ML Studio. Was it the same person, people who did? I read their names already. No. Maybe they did the... Okay. Back to where we were. So, Louisiana map, all platforms 150 megabytes, came out on the 11th of August. This map features the real terrain of a region in the state of Louisiana, USA, known for its strong agricultural focus. With vast areas dedicated to rice cultivation, the region also supports livestock farming and corn production for silage. The detailed landscape accurately reflects the local geography, providing an authentic and immersive experience for those looking to explore the dynamics of agricultural production in this part of the country. Number of purchasable fields, 4. We're going to have a look at that. That sounds interesting. There is 4 required mods. You can see those there, all by iMac ML Studio, except for the Cowbarn XL by FSG Modding and FSG Tasman. So let's go take a look at Louisiana. Now, of course, we had a map for from Louisiana in FS22 by Louisiana Modding, who has gone on to do other things, as I understand, which is a shame because that was quite a cool map. So, we go any further, let's have a look here at the map. So I think the 4 purchasable fields was a little bit wrong. Definitely more than 4. There is 4. 23, 26, 27, must have been 4, no, it is 40, up to 50 purchasable places. The fields is less though, of course. So as you can see, a river going down the side, we've got a farm, central farm here in the middle. The terraced areas, I'm going to guess, is that's all corn at the moment. Do we have any rice pre-planted? Long grain. No rice. Interesting, I don't think I've ever seen a map that has rice pre-planted on it. Yeah. It's kind of interesting how this map's been prepared in that you've got similar things in similar areas. Now, I don't think that's got anything, does it? It's just cultivated. But you got corn through here. That is beetroot, carrots. I suppose it might just be coincidence. Anyhow, town down the bottom, farm in the middle, river around the edge, bit of a border. Louisiana is quite low lying, so you can see there's lots of water in and around the map. So go and have a look here. So starting off, there is equipment everywhere. Plow, power harrow, bale trailer, Great Plains planter, grain cart, planter. That would be a seeder and then a planter, header, combine, tractors. There must be some tractors somewhere in the shed. Let's see what we can get into if we press tab. Got into something. International truck, got an Aprilia dirt bike, bent telehandler, we got Deutzfahr Agrostar, we got the Challenger there as well. Rampy wide body trailer. It's the Class EV truck to start. Only a couple of tractors. Good grain silo there. Just amount of space. It's quite a compact little farm actually. Does have some horses there as well. And then we will go and start exploring. So like I said, lots of water around. You get these kind of cool terraced fields. I don't know whether these are ones you'd put rice on or not. It's interesting they're actually terraced like that. Well, they're not terraced, are they? They're pretty much flat. No elevation change in there at all. I don't know if you could do rice in those. Let's head over this way. The town is down to the south of us here. It's another. Yeah, you buy that as a farm, isn't it? It's not on our land, is it? Purchasable. Ah, it is on our farmland. Okay. So you've kind of got this secondary yard over here too. A giant LMP bottle from Pyro is kept to. Could do. Could do. Best looking so far is the Brazilian map. I 100% agree. 100% agree. Maybe it's just a speed line. The speed line with the trains that go round and round and round on it. That's kind of a cool little road track. How many times would I end up in that ditch coming down there though? It's pretty dangerous. But kind of cool. I like the way that wraps around there. Farming, no, I haven't come across any non-flat 4X European maps as of yet. I haven't looked anywhere really much wider than Mod Hub though. This at least. So there is the cow barn. It actually has some cows roaming in it, so I'm assuming if you were to buy that, you might get some cows with it. There's a cow barn there. It's the FSG model one. Nice border actually, as we've been talking about those a few times. Bit of detail going on beyond. Interesting how it blends in there. I could do that. Now and down into the town now, so playground there behind the church, but we've got lots of productions. I'm not going to bother going through and checking what they all are. They're actually, it's all got the farmland's all purchasable underneath. I wonder if you have to buy the farmland to then buy the production. Yeah, there we go. So you can find those sugar mill. Can't grab that one. Grapes, carpentry. I'm sure you name it, they're probably all there. Once again, not spotting a shop very obviously, but I've got some, what's that equipment there? That must be the shop, is it? Yeah, there we go, that'll be the shop. A little bit of Star equipment. Oh, iMac. Now this is, actually I remember now, was it? This is a required mod, I remember now DJ talking about this one. This is a required mod, and it's only required because it's in the shop as a decorative item. It's not actually, likewise with all this stuff, the iMac stuff is all a required mod. You don't actually own any of it on your farm. It's bizarre. Anyhow, there's the shop. Quite a cool shop actually. He's out the front. So they look like they've been blown over by the wind a little bit. And the confused waterfall with the boy carp in it. Look at that. Anyhow. Football field, soccer, depending where you're from. Catch you later, Ollie. G'day, Paul. Good evening to you. So, yeah, again, I know people like towns because of the role-playing side of things. So if you just wanted a place with a town, it's the one thing I'm regretting with my map actually is having a town in it with a lot of effort to decorate. But I also like going in and seeing how others have decorated towns to go, actually, maybe I don't need to do as much as like I've done. Like actually, see, that's just a painted footpath, and it gives the detail of a footpath without actually having a raised curb in that. Some kind of cheaty ways you can do things to make them a bit more, to simplify them. Some food for thought for me. But you can see the terraced fields through here, and these would be ones to be able to flood with. Full rice, I'm assuming. Quite a bit of character on this map though, I must admit. Surprised me actually. Just in the way it's been decorated. Cruise along there. My disliked cow fence that I've managed to get rid of. Well, not get rid of, but going to get rid of. It's a river down this side. You do actually go across it to get over to some forestry. Okay. And, oh, we've got a barge. So I've managed to incorporate the barge in here too, which is kind of cool. Weed infested area though. Probably be kind of right with slow moving water. That's a very deep waterway. And yeah, fields and fields and fields. It'll be interesting to see how the equipment handles these kind of things. Are they? It looks like they're quite pronounced from above, aren't they? But when you're down at ground level, they're not actually too bad. Not too pronounced. I just know that some equipment doesn't like going across the sides of raised areas. Alright. I am going to go second. Brazil, Louisiana, second, and it's a tight thing between Louisiana and Iowa Plains. Second and third. Fourth would be the Argentino map, and last would be the Dedelow or whatever it was called. Alright, let's get out of this one. On to the next. AG, how you doing? Any idea when Oxy's new map will be coming out? 2026 at the earliest. Won't be this year. So still some time to go. So what have we got? Sunshine Forest, Wampsville, and Winlow to look at. And maybe Winchester. Okay, let's go and look at Sunshine Forest. And get into that. That's Sunshine Forest. There we go. Right. So Sunshine Forest is by Carl TG. 304 megabytes. All platforms 27th of June. So this one's been out for coming up to 3 months now. So it's been around for a while. It's called Sunshine Forest. Welcome to Sunshine Forest with a beautiful landscape and a forest. Imagine if it just didn't have a forest. It's called Sunshine Forest. It'd be like Elm Creek without a creek. Map includes a general sell point and vehicle shop area. All in-game products can be sold. Thanks to MA7 Stew for letting me use the wood cream from Paline. 6 forest areas with spruce, pine and birch trees, 2 peat fields and a small yard for your machinery. Peat's cool. I've had to play around with that. A little bit of info there for modders about peat, that you can integrate it into your project. And hope you enjoy this map. It does have the one required mod, which is the peat equipment, and I must have downloaded that because I've got all the required mods. So have a look. That one is ready to go. So this is the only map that's truly a largely forestry map that I've included in my list to look at today. So let's have a look through. So Sunshine Forest is basically a forest. The two fields over here, or one field, is the peat. So you can see different areas you can buy. I think these greener areas are more grassland, and the trees are sort of more in these centre areas. You've got a thicket, Sunshine Swamp, what's that, Sunbeam Creek. Area up here which has our sell point, sell station for wood, storage bay, a lumber mill. We do have a train, rent a train, a couple of people to talk to, and you can sell things on the train at Goldcrest Valley of all places. There you go, blast from the past. So let's go and have a look. Now, of course, like I said, forestry map, so it's going to have more forestry equipment. Here's the yard, a few buildings here, a Volvo to start off with, silage blade, leveling blade, bulldozing blade, whatever you want to call that. A high tip bucket there, I think that's a high tip, isn't it? Must be, why else would it have? Why else would it have hoses on it? Pickup, logging truck there. Now this logging truck is one I want to try and modify, take the logging bits off the back and make it into a Frontier tanker, truck and trailer. That's on the list of things to do at some stage. Well, not Frontier, but at least a milk truck, like we would have here in New Zealand. Now this is the peat equipment. This is the pickup wagon, I think. It's the one you pick up with. So as you drive over, and I think this sort of sucks it. It's like a vacuum cleaner, actually. Kind of counterintuitive. You think pickup wagon, you normally pick up at the front and throw it in. Well, this picks it up at the back and sort of sucks it up into it. This is the windrow or rake or something for the. I've got this one. This bit of equipment over here. Maybe that's the windrow. I think you drive backwards and that windrows it. So that rips it up, that windrows it, and then that picks it up. Truck there for hauling the peat. And yeah, other stuff. So this is the peat field. Now peat's, yeah, it's fun. You basically go through and plough it, and it creates a windrow that looks like a grass windrow. It's just a different colour. And then you can pick it up and go and sell it. And I think it's actually quite a lucrative product, if I'm not mistaken. $386 up to $550. So we're at the low point at the moment. I think you can get quite a decent amount off there. And it does regenerate, I think, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, that's why I like this map, and some of Carl TG's stuff. This one's one of a couple that he's put the peat stuff on now. It's nice. Nice to have something a bit different. But otherwise, we've come over here to the edge of the map, gone through those fields. We'll just scoot up here and have a quick look. But like I said, it's a forestry map. If you want to do some forestry, do some forestry. Some areas in between which would be easy to clear if you wanted to set up a farm. So you go all through here. Wouldn't take much to get the tree devourer and clear some of this land out. And you end up with some decent sized fields. There is the creek, Sunbeam Creek. It was. You got the road there running along beside it. So nice big expansive area. This would be like one you could actually start off almost a No Man's style playthrough on, right? Map border heads off. It's pretty simple, but actually blends in really nicely. That's the bit I'm struggling with, getting it to blend in really nicely. We'll get there. And otherwise you get some nice dense forest areas which you fly over and it feels like you're flying over a forest. Open areas in between. Let's go back and find sell points. Expensive gear, there was some expensive gear there. Right, here we go. Some nice loading area there, be able to get up to the truck. You got the log loading area. So I think you can load into this, it'll auto load and then sell it from there, I think. If I'm not mistaken. This is the crane from telling you can park next to it and load your truck up if you want to. Just a bit of a staging area. Loading way station on the way in. Workshop trigger there. That must be the shop where you can buy your equipment. And then you've just got the animal dealer. Every map needs an animal dealer and sell point there. And that is about it. About all she wrote for this spot. Sawmill. There you go. Custom building for the sawmill too. And that is Sunshine Forest. Like I said, it's the only forestry map I had in here. I wanted to have one just because it is a little bit unique. Although those aren't areas. I was thinking sometimes he's had areas where you can dig material, loose material like sand and things like that, but I'm not sure if there is any. This is the swamp, Sunshine Swamp, so you can see there we're working in a swamp area, just a little bit of a different varied landscape. Forestry. Logging league in here. A bit of a challenge bringing them right down in here, wouldn't it? Ooh, be evil. Alright. Carry on. Keep moving. Gosh, this requires more thinking than I thought it might have. This will be easy just jumping in and checking out some maps. I have not looked much at any of these maps. Some of them I haven't even opened. I haven't even opened Wampsville to know the difference between the three, but we're going to go for the Homestead Edition because that sounds the most appropriate. So we'll go in and do that, and this is going to take us some time to read because this was quite long. So Wampsville, New York, 567.99 megabytes. DTAP Gaming Star Spangled Mods for all platforms. Category of maps. Wampsville is calling. Will you rise to the challenge? The land is waiting. The opportunity is yours. Do you have what it takes to conquer Wampsville and build your legacy in agriculture? You find yourself in New York, standing at the crossroads of three vastly different paths, each one a unique test of your skills, strategy, and ambition. Will you thrive in the modern farming world, battle against untainted nature, or shape the land from the ground up? So, we have some NPC storylines for each of these. So, Wampsville, New York, Forestry Edition, Storyline 1. Travel back in time before modern agriculture took over. Towering forests and untouched wilderness stand between you and your dreams. Will you carve out a homestead, create sprawling farmlands, or dominate the logging industry? The wild is yours to tame. Note, this map has increased chances of severe weather events like tornadoes and storms, so be prepared. The DIY Edition, Storyline 2. The loggers have left and now the land is yours to shape from scratch. No forest to clear, no fields required to be maintained, just pure creative freedom. Design roads, neighborhoods, and farmlands exactly how you see fit. Will you build the ultimate farming empire, plant some forests, or make a city to just maintain yards and roleplay? And then Storyline 3, the Homestead Edition. Fields are prepped, the land is ready. This is farming at its finest with a realistic rural layout and plenty of room for expansion. The only question is, can you turn this land into an agricultural powerhouse? The choice is yours, but one thing is certain, only the strongest will thrive in Wampsville. Which path will you take? So it's nice to have a bit of a story. There is a whole lot in here about the NPCs, custom non-player character NPCs. There's a whole storyline which goes through it. There's some custom tall grass and tall mixed meadow types. Ability to move NPCs around to different predefined locations. Ability to remove almost all NPCs from the map entirely, so you make use of the land. Custom production. Look at the list goes on. So if you're interested in, I'll leave it to you. Multiple crop types though: alfalfa, clover, rye, triticale, millet, spelt, mustard, buckwheat, poppies, lentils, flax. Thank you, Iron Thunder, for the custom crops. Rework of icons by DTAP Gaming. It's custom animal dealer. All sorts. So let's go look at it. Let's finish loading. That's the main thing. So we've gone on the Homestead Edition. So basically this is ready to farm. Based on the description, if you had chosen the Forestry Edition, there would be no farm, there would be no field, there would be no buildings, there would be a whole lot of forest. And that is what you would get. If you'd chosen the DIY Edition, there would be no fields, there would be no farms, but there would also be limited forest. Don't know whether bits like this would remain. That's for something for you to go and explore. So anyhow, we are here. As you can see, start clicking on these. Noah, Tristan, Chuck, Ben, Walter, Kenneth, all down this side. Katie, Briggs, Burkle, David, Lisa. That's about it. So let's go and find one of the unique ones. What have we got? Who's one of the Tristan? Let's go visit Tristan. Here's inside. There we go. So there's Tristan. Come up to. Can we interact with him? I thought we can't. He's the warehouse dude. But doesn't have the ability to talk to him. He just moves. What about one of the others? I thought you could interact with them. G'day, No, how you doing? Good to see you, Heath. Hello, welcome along. Get rid of that. Let's go try one of the others then. I honestly thought you could. Have a look at Burkle. Start conversation. Alright, so there you go. You get an idea on what you can do, but here you go. Here's all your loose fill iron chips. You can come in and dig, and of course, because I've done it this way, it is all platforms, which is kind of cool. That is a lot of iron. It is a lot of iron. But kind of cool that it's got that option. But yeah, have a look in the. I'm sure they've explained. Let's have a look back. Did they explain it or not? No, they don't. Anyhow, but yes, they are. It's actual voice acting. You know, they've actually got custom dialogue and custom scripts and everything like that. So it's very cool. So anyhow, that has brought us up to this part of the map. So you can see the bright green, one of the custom crops. That's lentils. I don't know if we've got anything else. There's a bit of flax over there. Buckwheat, poppies, lavender, mustard. They've got pretty much everything covered here, don't they? Nice. Clover, alfalfa. Rice. Okay, so what's the custom crops? Lentils. So all the productions up the top here anyhow. Ask me about Glask, Stone Crusher, Sawmill. Actually, what was that? Wood Miser L215. I've had a little bit of fun with it. Gotta give them credit for that. One thing again, this is a personal preference. I feel like maps that just have field edges with nothing almost feels FS 19ish, FS 17ish. I feel like we've gone past that a little bit more, but that's just me. So poppies are still growing, but like mint. What have we got here? Buckwheat. It doesn't actually look like buckwheat, does it? What I thought buckwheat would look like. No questioning what this field is though. Lavender and rye. Now rye is one I kind of want to get into. I want to be able to do grass seed. That's something I do because that's quite a big thing in the South Island. Triticale. There's one over here was custom crop. It wasn't millet. I thought millet and sorghum are the same, but maybe I'm mistaken. So, some good custom crops though. That's what I like to see. People who've gone to some effort to add things in. It's neat. And I've gone to some effort with the customization on this. So back down the bottom, oh actually the top here, so you can see this is where all the farmyard is, farm equipment. all pretty much hidden away in sheds. Go. Bits and pieces in there. More bits and pieces in there. Combine. Grass equipment. So yeah, lots of different bits and pieces hidden away. Kind of feel like you're in a crater with the rocks going the whole way around. Kind of an interesting way to tackle the field boundaries. The blue. Let's just go this one. This is flex. Right. It might have been what's the other one I was thinking of? Kale. What was the other one I was thinking about? It was a custom crop. Clover. It might have been clover. Uncle Buckwheat. yeah. It's Emma Wheat's and Dave Wheat's dad. We got hiding. Did I see something hiding in here? Random trailer house with a swimming pool. That's what you need. So yeah, anyhow, I'm not going to bother opening the other ones up, but like I said, you can open this with 3 different editions and choose how you want to play, which is kind of cool. Kind of interesting way to think about things. And nice little bit of detail in it as well. All right. Let's keep moving on. Now, if you've only just joined, welcome along. Pleasure to have you here. Something I've wanted to do for ages is just go and explore a few different maps. Ones I don't get the chance to look at. I don't download and spend any time exploring them, so I thought let's make this a chance to go and do this. So here we are. We've just gone through. This is our 8th map we've looked at tonight. And yeah, just I'm going to go through and rate them all afterwards as to which one I preferred and in which order. But the other thing, if you haven't seen already, and I'd announced earlier, was our first ever, I already indicated when it might be and given you some ideas, but our first ever community event we're going to have here in New Zealand. It's going to be held at TRC Tractors on Saturday the 18th of October from 12:30 till 4:30-ish. It's going to include a visit to the Coach House Museum in Fielding, which has a collection of antique vintage farm equipment, tractors, things like that. So I'm going to have a look around that. TRC Tractors are going to do some demos of some of the equipment. You're going to be able to have a look at it. Unfortunately, we're not able to drive it ourselves, but they're going to show us a few things there. And hopefully be able to take a couple of my PC and PlayStation over and do some bale stacking challenges or something like that. So quite excited about it. So anyhow, thank you, Bo. Put that in there. Exclamation mark meet will get you into the right place. Right, so our last one, we've already loaded in, but we'll go and do our reading first. Winlow Farm. So if you've caught FSG's Farm Sim Guys video this morning, today, on Playing in Cab, he's doing it on Winlow Farm. So if it's familiar, that is why. This is by MS Modding. It is all platforms. Came out at the end of August. It's quite a big map, 836 megabytes. So it must have quite a few custom buildings and things like that. And it also uses a couple of required mods. Anyhow, description says, welcome to Winlow Farm, based on a real life farm in Wales, 4 miles from Carmarthen. Carmarthen? Yeah, I'm getting that one right. I know someone will correct me. With beautiful scenery and undulating fields. In this map, you will find 103 fields, small, medium, and large. That is a lot. Custom models built for the map, 4 sell points. There are 4 farms, 2 cow farms, 1 sheep farm, and 4 farms, 2 cow farms, 1 sheep farm, 1 horse farm, and 1 pig farm. 2 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 equals 5. We'll figure that one out. And Average Enjoyer UK number plates. Average Enjoyer is a modder who's obviously created the UK number plates. Latsy Boys custom models. Few models can be removed and a good size area to add or customize the main farm. So there we go. Did 836 megabytes. So let's go and have a look. G'day Kiwi Sim Farmer, how you doing? Good to see you, mate. Hope you had a good rest of your stream. Thanks for coming back, or coming in, saying hello. Right, so we are, I feel like am I missing building? No, I'm not. Not very open just here. I don't think I'm missing anything. So we are here at the main farm right in the middle. So this is our starter farm, so that's one. Interesting, it's a cow pasture up there. Ooh. Something I want to steal. Steal. Make use of. It's one horse town. So we've got a farm there. I'm guessing there's going to be one down here. Horse farm down there. Cow down there. Sheep up there. Maybe the pigs, because the pigs are part of ours, counts it as one. I wonder if that's a farm down there. How many farms did it say there was? 4 farms. Okay. So anyhow, the main farm here, like I said, there's a lot of space, so you could customize it yourself. House there, different areas with all your equipment in it. Tractors, cultivator there. Baler, combine, and header. Slurry spreader. Big open shed. Grain shed, led by Lancy Boy. Other sheds up here, silage bunker. What is this? Cow barn? It's a cow barn of some description. A milk point. This one actually reminds me of one that was on in 19 by Oxygen David. Another shed here, telehandler, the Merlot, cedar. I'm guessing it's a bale storage. Yes, bale and pallet storage. Diesel, fertilizer spreader. Oh, hang on, it's milk. Diesel's over that side. And yeah, then we'll have a bit of a look around. This one reminds me of, and I thought this when I was watching FSG play on it. It's a big pile of rubble. This one reminded me of the Irish map we were playing on at the end of 22. I can't remember the name of right off the top of my head. Another farmyard over here. This is another one of the smaller ones. Let's had the horses. There you go. Got all the horse jumps and things like that. Decoration for those. The actual horse pastures. Alright, this is the horse pasture here. Oh yeah, okay. That's the fill points and whatnot. Nice little bit of water for them. If we head on over this way, so we'll kind of go down and have a bit of a look around. But yeah, lots and lots and lots of fields. 103, wasn't it? Different sizes, different shapes. Not too big. Not too small though either. A little bit of shape to them. So we've got another animal point down here. This is another cattle one. Cow barn. Place out there. Decent size yard in here for them. Pieces all around. Must be more over here too. Some milk. House there. Gates. That's quite a steep field, isn't it? So this is what you want farming, except you want it much bigger. Belly spring. Was it belly spring we were playing on? I don't think it was. It was something I struggled to pronounce. Belly spring sounds too easy. There was one that never actually ended up getting Ahali. Thank you, Aussie Dan. I knew it was one I struggled to pronounce. Ahali Farms. One that never actually officially got released in the end, did it? It's frustrating. So another farm down here. This was the sheep, wasn't it? Sorry, we're up the top now. So we've been down at the cows. We're up here at the sheep. There's grass around. The sheeps. Sheepy sheeps. I like that loading ramp. This amount of just randomness around as well. I need to find out where all of this decoration comes from, whether this is out of base maps or not. I haven't managed to find a lot of it. I know some of it is. A little bit more exploring things, just things like this randomness. There was a deco pack of decorative stuff released on Mod Hub. I'll have to look through that. Right, so carrying across the top there is our big farm in the middle. Another farmyard just here. There's another one. This is the one that had the cow pasture in the middle of it. Okay. Down there, so I'm assuming the cows can go all the way up through this one. sell points. Sell points. Exports and the dairy. And then you're going around the top. Random little shed. Bale storage. Usable or not. Coming over the top here, BGA and possibly the shop there on the other side. Winlow bulk merchants, BGA, Winlow grain. So yeah, nice map. Nice and compact, but feels small, but there's a lot of fields. It will take a long time to own them all. And just the way the roads are set up, it'll probably take a wee while to get around too, because if you want to go from, in fact, that's a good point, if you wanted to go from here up to here, I'm guessing you've got to go all the way back down to this road. Any way through? Without going through fields. That's the road there. All the way down to the bottom. Across this way, there's the horses. Down here, so I'm just looking to see if there's a track which goes up. Off up to our left. No, there's not. I don't even know. See this field here. This field. Oh, there is. Hang on. There it is. Okay, I missed it. Blind. Too much whiskey. That comes. Oh no, that's the entrance into the main farm. So no, there's not. Although you can probably go through the main farm and get out the other side. But it is in some ways it is, but it's not really. So you would have to come up through here. Get up here. It's just a one-way street. There you go. Good UK vibe to it though. Good sort of little cottage village type farm setup. Narrow lanes, small equipment. Very nice. Very nice. Right. So let's back out of there very quickly. Go on to this one. So that is all 8 that I was going to look at. So if I was to go through and rate them, and I'm just going to have a look at my list. This is what I'm thinking. I closed it. Oh, there it is, Map Explorer. So, I'm still inclined to. If I was gonna pick one of these maps to play today, I would pick the Brazilian map. Had some nice character. It's a little bit different to maps I'd normally play, which just to me just made it that little bit more interesting. I think next on my list this is actually a harder list to make than I thought. Just moving some things around here. I'm gonna make that one. I think we all know which one's my last one. And that's probably going to be my order there. So next up would be Louisiana map. Again, just had that really unique, special little vibe to it. Different to any map kind of seen recently in some regards. Just felt like it had a lot of character to it, which is why I'd go for that one. Next up, Iowa Plains, this by Buki. Again, had a lot of detail into it. Possibly not quite the uniqueness that Louisiana had though. I felt Iowa Plains was almost, it just felt like another Alma, Missouri. So that's why I've put that one third. Coming in fourth is Winlow Farm, classic UK style map. Not quite a Oxygen David or Farmson Briscoe, but certainly not far behind those guys. And some nice detail just with how everything was done in it. And yeah, just really reminded me of Ahali and something like that. Even Valley Spring, you could say, it reminded me of that too. So would be my fourth on my list. Fifth, Wampsville. I like Wampsville for its variety and the way you could play the map in different ways, which I thought was kind of cool, and just the uniqueness with the different NPCs in it. Sixth on the list, and this was actually a toss-up. I could have done this a little bit higher, but Sunshine Forest. It's the only forestry map, but I like the peat equipment. I think that's just again something new, and the fact it was forestry as well, but still had some open areas. You could make some fields pretty easily, so it didn't have to be just about the forestry. You want to do that, do the peat, and still have a farm. 7th is the Argentinian map. Just for me, it just lacked that little bit of uniqueness, the character. It felt like it could have been any other map. And lastly is the Dedelow. And don't get me wrong, it looked like a nice map, just the colour on it just did not rate, did not sit with me at all. I felt actually started to feel depressed looking at it. It just felt really, really dreary, and I know that's the vibe they were going for, but yeah, there you go. That's what I'm thinking. How does my ratings compare to the Mod Hub ratings? Oh goodness, now I have to open them all up, Mark. Actually, I have got them all open, haven't I? Let's have a look. So, let's write this down. I'll put them in order. Let's write the Mod Hub ratings down next to it now. So, Winlow was a rating of 3.6. Louisiana, 4.1. Sunshine Forest, 4. Dedelow, 3.8. Interesting now. Horizonte. See, the thing is though, if you're from Argentina, you're probably going to give this a good rating, 3.8. Wampsville, 3.5. Brazil, 4.7. And Iowa Plains is 4.4. And that's small. So, well, generally speaking, I'm not too far off. I picked the top. Brazil was 4.7, and that's when I picked top. Next on the list, Iowa Plains and Louisiana would have been around the other way. Iowa's 4.4 and Louisiana's 4.1. And then the next were kind of a little bit out of order. Sunshine Forest, it's the 4th highest rated. Then Argentinian map, then Dedelow with Winlow 7th and Wampsville 8th on the rating. So if you were to go by Mod Hub, but we don't need to do that. So there we go. It's kind of interesting. Kind of interesting. Right, now last thing. Let's go. I'm going to open up Winchester and show you some of the things I've been doing on that. I spent a bit of time working on it today actually, and there's a few things. I haven't actually opened it since I worked on it today, so hopefully it's going to work. And there could be some broken textures because I haven't play tested it. Catch you later, Bo. Good to see you, mate. Talk to you soon. Right. I mean, this is a 5 on Mod Hub already. I can guarantee it. All right. Have a look. Oh, I don't want to. So this is Winchester in New Zealand. So it is a town. If you have not familiar with the map, first time here, and you haven't seen, this is a map I'm currently in the process of building. It is located in the South Island of New Zealand in mid to South Canterbury. It's a small town. So we've got basically this is the main state highway in New Zealand. So we don't have big 4-lane motorways the length of our country. This is it's a 2-lane road, not separated or anything like that. We've got a train track that runs down this side here of the town, north to south. And then basically there's a river over this side. And the map's kind of broken into 3 parts. On the right hand side is the bigger arable fields. We've got a farm at the top here with some grain silos and things like that. Got a second farm down in here. And then on the other side of the town, and kind of got a bit of mixed farming. Then we've got a huge amount of grass area and things like that. And another farm up the top here, which is more of I've set it up, it's going to become a dairy farm, which is what I'm working on. So I've spent a lot of time, my focus is on trying to get this side from the river across finished. So I'm going to go up here. So far so good. And have a quick look. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Right, I'll start again. After that, see, like I've got, is that a floating pole? It's a floating pole. So, let's go back to the map. There you go. Now that I've described it, you'll get it. So, State Highway 1 coming down through the middle, train tracks on the right-hand side, town in the middle. Right-hand side is all big arable fields. I think the biggest one here is 78 acres. But it's all pretty much, you could just about merge most of that in together. 2 farms, one up the top here and one down halfway down here on the right. Then on the other side of town, we've got the river goes through there, and another farm on the other side. And then this is lots of grassland, lots of smaller fields, but it could still be merged. And everything is going to have fences that can be demolished. That is something I'm really focused on doing. So, what have I been working on? So, well, I've got the road markings a little bit more. I like, it's pretty hard to do the edges, and the yellow is not quite the same width in that, but I'm not too worried about that. Custom power poles, so ones I've built, made, sticker on. So New Zealand concrete power poles there, and I've got them in different configurations. So we go further down, there's one that has a side on it which comes across. I've got the roadside marker poles like we have in New Zealand. I've got a version which has a yellow reflector on the back, and they face different ways. And yeah, did that on purpose to raise anticipation, something like that. So there's bits and pieces like this which I've so today I actually put this bit of fence in here and this bit of fence in here, and I'm going to change this gate. So these pre-built gates, in fact, I'll just go in here and do this. They won't be there. What this will be like is using my fence I've built, which hopefully are going to be in here. That one there. Oops. Is to go in here and should be able to cycle through. Segment 3 should be the gate. Be able to cycle through and sort of get this. So and this is what I've got to figure out, is where things don't quite fit, but side and reverse it so it opens the other way. I wanted to flip it. Reverse it. No, I can't flip it. I could have it so I've opened. When they flip. Segment reverse. Anyhow, you get the idea. The other thing is I've got to deal with collisions too. Anyhow, that's the idea. That's what it will look like. I actually do it properly. And it shouldn't open that way, and it shouldn't open the highway around. Like I said, lots that I still have to work on. A manual 2 gate, something like that. And then coming down this way a bit further. Okay, change of contractor painting the road markings. Could be something like that. I could probably actually make them wider. And then this is another area I've just tweaked as well. So previously I had the 4-wire fence going down, the farm Giants fence going down here, which is the back one. I've actually changed all this. And I've built, this was going to be a, let's get rid of those two. What I'm trying to do is keep all the fences placeable, so you can kind of demolish fences. So if you get into somewhere like this, if you wanted to make this field one field, you could come in here and just go bang, get rid of it. But what I'm doing at the moment is, this is a fence I've been trying to make as a placeable, and I haven't got it to work yet. So I decided instead of having it as a placeable fence, I'll use it in places like this down a driveway where it won't actually matter if it's not demolishable, because no one's going to want to demolish that. So I've got a few different versions. I've got one there that's got a broken rail, and sometimes they end up next to each other. I've got one without, and then at the ends you would have seen the one with the stay on it. Certainly no big air seeders, not on this side of the map, TJ. The other side will be much more open. But yeah, you've got the strainer That one's a little bit low, but more like that one there. Yeah, that's something I've been mucking around with. I've done a whole lot of decoration in this farmyard. Got the mailboxes sorted out. I've put a whole lot more of these grasses around areas that you wouldn't actually get in and mow. If we go down here, yeah, just things like a bit of decoration in the shed. I know that'll probably annoy some people. I may set it up. Yeah, my plan is to be able to set it up so you can hide all of those things. So if you didn't want, buckets lying around and bits of wood, pallet leaning up there. There's just a whole lot of random stuff I started putting around. Container, rubbish pile, this old thing. Which is a pot plant I hadn't realised I'd missed. That could maybe stay there. Yeah, just these bits and pieces. Get rid of. So it's been a bit of a work on recently. What else is there? Still got to finish the cow shed. Stockyards on that side. Lots to do on that still. I've been thinking about changing this shed from this pole shed into my one. But I've been through and done a whole lot of decoration here in the farm and the house as well. This one didn't actually have any of this trees and garden and whatnot, so I've kind of been in and done a little bit of creative planting. I liked actually how it's quite steep, I need to smooth those off, but how the modder did this on Ray County. No Creek Farms did it on Ray County, did these raised areas and used the pine needles as a ground type, and I thought that worked quite well for making it look like it's a garden with some mulch in it. So kind of borrowed that. Yeah, just sort of started adding things. It's interesting. Yeah. Do you know I can't see a lot of this decoration on this house when I'm in game? So I've gone and put my own decoration up here, but there's actually a whole heap up on it. Oh, funny. Look at that. Go and have another look now. But yeah. What else is there? That's kind of the main bits. I've put one of these fences along this side. I need to change the map border on that side. But that's what I'm saying about my map boundaries aren't very well done yet. Ooh, get up and over it. Cheat. Do it the cheats way. Yeah. So that's about it. Not a huge amount else to report. I've been spending lots more time in Blender doing things like these, but I need to just model some roads which go off into the distance, and I haven't quite got the image lined up. Oh, this is the power pole I said had a crossing over, so I haven't got things like wires which connect wire to wire. I don't know whether I'm too worried about those. But yeah, just little bits and pieces to add in. Probably change that. Maybe change that fence so it comes off there rather than there. All things you can't see in game, you kind of figure it out as you go. What else is there? Oh, Ola did this for me. Should. Got flowing water. Ola very kindly put that together for me. I need to tweak the level of the river's a bit high at the moment. I need to lower it down just a touch. Yeah. Nice just to have that flowing water, just makes it a little bit nicer. Yeah, I see broken textures on those. This is the sort of more open arable side of things. Tell me these ones are broken too. Oh, I thought I'd fixed all of these. We've got flowing water going down these two. Nice. A little bit more decoration in there still to do. So yeah, lots of things. But like I said, my focus is on the other side of the river. So I can get that sorted out, and that'll give me a template for doing all this. Oh, these power poles, my wooden ones, which I tried to do the wires in a slightly different way. I'll show you. These come in just kind of 2 minutes here at the shed. Where I've I managed to get the coiled wire working really well on this. As you can see, for the stay, but for the when you do it on the actual wires, didn't work very well at all. We're going to get rid of that and change it to the way I've done it on the other ones. Yeah, more road markings done here. I've got lots more done in Blender, I just haven't exported them out. And then lots of work to do in this part. Like I said, as I was looking at towns, how other people have done it, there's lots to figure out. Oh, the contractor yard, I think I've shown you before. That's what I was talking about with the, this is the way I've done the bund. Sort of raised a little bit of ground up around the back of it, so if it leaks, doesn't go anywhere. And yeah, that's probably it. No special sheep breed. I'm not going to get too carried away with things like that. That hedge is fine, those other ones aren't. Oh, have I shown? I think I've shown you the animal dealer before. That done too. And this is where some of those ground textures and things like that come into play. That's good. I hadn't actually checked that. I'd made a change to get this to work and it hadn't worked before, so now it is. It's good. Yeah, anyhow, that's probably about all I've got to show you for this one. The flying water's cool. Flying water's very cool. No merinos. No merinos. You wouldn't get merinos down in this part of the country. Well, in flatter land, they'd be up in the hills. Further away. Actually, I'll be putting that wire fence down here too. That fence will be very good. All of these fences here are going to get replaced with either, that's what I was going to show, so either this fence or this fence with this gate, or this fence and that fence and that gate. This is a 4-wire fence. Actually, I'll show you the other one too. I think I've shown it before, but some people might have seen it. Let's build a bit more of this fence and then do segment 4. Okay, so this is a 3-wire fence and a 7-wire fence. I've used slightly different textures for the poles. I need to fix the top of that one. I've managed to get these ones looking quite nice, quite happy with how that's all turned out. I've basically got a 5-meter section and a 2-meter section. That shouldn't be doing that. I don't know why that's done that. It's not right. That's fixing. But yeah, gates on them. And then this one, the 3-wire fence, has a special gate, which you can come up to these air tags and click that, and it lowers. And this is what I was saying about trying to animate it with that, the way that other gate was done. That basically goes from having a collision, so I can't walk through there. If I open the gate, I can now go through there. So if you had a tight farm or you have tight access into a field, you'd actually go through the fence rather than run through the gate. So yeah. Just a little touch I've done for that. So anyhow, that's about all I had to show. I don't think there's anything else to share on the map at this stage. Lots to do. I've modelled a whole lot more of this building. This building's a lot more detailed, still not finished. Started detailing this. This one's going to be a drive-through warehouse, with those two just being display warehouses. I've done a whole lot more on this gas station. I've done a whole lot more on the hotel. So things are progressing. So I've kind of got what 1, 2, 3 building, or 4. Those ones down there that I haven't touched yet. So it's kind of where I'm at. Can you play smoke on the water when you puck the fence wire? Oh, that'll be fantastic. Yes, there is sound on them. I've got see. Sorry. If I had that the whole night that I didn't have any game sound because I had it muted, my apologies. You've had absolutely no, you've listened to me talk for the last 2 hours with no game audio whatsoever. What sort of streamer am I? One that's going to go. So, oops. Okay, walking on my own. How have I done that? Controller. He didn't hear it. No, you wouldn't have heard it because there was nothing. I had it muted. Phone's going flat. All good, TJ. You're welcome, Rowdy. Right, everyone. Well, thank you very much. That was fun. It was nice to go and check out some different maps. I hope you guys got something out of it too. It was torture. Thank you, Long Hill. Yeah, I hope, it'd be great to hear if someone goes and plays a map based on having a look at one of those. It'd be kind of interesting to hear if I've sort of made a difference. Different and very enjoyable stream. Well, I'm pleased to find that, Amon. I wanted to just have something a little bit different rather than just jumping in a multiplayer server and harvesting the same crop or doing something the same as we normally do. So there we go. Maybe another 6 months there'll be 8 more maps I could do the same thing on. And maybe I'll be a little bit more progressed on my map that I can show you things on that too. Anyhow, just thought you'd throw it out. 11th of October at the Fairley Show, myself and a great bunch of people putting on a tractor pull. Would love you to come along and meet you. Cheers. What am I doing on the 11th of October? That date rings a bell already. Marty. What am I doing on the 11th of October? There's a reason something comes to mind. Anyhow, keep me in mind in the future, buddy. Definitely keep me in the mind in the future. If the opportunity arises to do something like that, I'd love to. Yes, that's the charity event. Thank you, Amon. That's what we're doing. Live stream with Mr. Silly P and friends for the Country Trust in the UK to get kids out onto farms. That's what we're doing. Thank you. Come and join us on one of the servers. Always time for that. Yeah, for sure. And just got here, sounds like you missed the maps. Hey Jason, you did. I'm sorry. You have to go back and look. But yeah, I'm going to have a copy of Aussie Modern Co-op's new map sometime soon to show you guys too. So that might be something we look at in the future as well. Anyhow, thanks everyone. It was fun. I enjoyed that. Darren, for the 10 gifted memberships earlier on, thank you very much. That was incredibly generous of you. Sorry, Bo, that you missed out once again. It's a running joke. It's fantastic. But yeah, for everyone else who's hung out tonight, thank you. If you've enjoyed it, make sure you drop a thumbs up. If you haven't already, if you are in New Zealand, if you are close to the Manawatu, and if you would like to come and spend an afternoon with me and other farming sim fans at TRC Tractors, play some farm sim, go and check out the Coach House Museum, have a look at some of the latest and greatest AGCO tractors, Fendt, Valtra, Massey, get some demonstrations on how some of the equipment works. I've talked about setting up a GPS line and they'll show you how the tractor works. They're going to have one that's got the joystick steering on it. They'll hook up an implement. They might show you how things fold and unfold and what goes into actually connecting a piece of equipment to the back of a tractor instead of just backing up and pressing a button. If you're interested in that, !meet. There's more information on Facebook. I will be sharing it far and wide. If you're not able to make it, maybe share it to someone who would love to come and check it out, because I'm looking forward to it, hoping we can get 15, 20 people along. It could make for a fun afternoon. And if all goes well, this will become potentially a model for doing things in the future. So, Fairley might be a location in the future. Marty, we could do something. I definitely want to get down into Canterbury. There's a lot of people from that region who completed my survey. I want to get up into the Waikato. I'd love to go to Taranaki, some of those big agricultural regions, and connect with some of the fine folk that are there. So, yeah, come along to this one. If it's a success, we'll do them again in the future. So, anyhow, thank you, everyone. Have a good rest of your week. I won't be live on Saturday because I'm off on football. Sunday, sorry. I won't be live on Sunday. I will be away for a football tournament all day. It will be an early start, which means I might do something Saturday. We'll see. See what the weekend brings. So just keep tuned. Stay tuned. Anyhow, thank you, everyone. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your week and see you soon. Bye.